Ugh, ugh, ugh. And then Shigwa says, well, at least it looks just like your tablet, Anna. Then I said, well, yes. And just logged out when I said, well, yes. Then I said, Shigwa, you're right. The paper version kind of looks just like my tablet. Then Shigwa says, yeah, I know. Where Sangwa says, what if we use your tablet? Then your puppet will look just like you. Where I said, great idea, Sangwa. And just logged out when I said, great idea, Sangwa, let's do it. Where I said, magic, magic, make my paper puppet look just like me. Then I said, uh-oh, I don't think I got the words right. Then I said, Shigwa, look out. Then Shigwa said, Sangwa, Dongwa, look out. And then Sangwa and Dongwa says, ah! And then I said, well, that didn't help, right, Shigwa? And just logged out when I said, well, that didn't help, right, Shigwa? Then Shigwa says, well, yeah. Where I said, it didn't help at all, right, Sangwa? Then I said, Sangwa? Dongwa? Then I said, oh no, I made them disappear. Then Sangwa says, no, you didn't. We're down here. Then I said, and then Dongwa says, well, that didn't work. And then I said, my puppet tablet turned you into. Then Sangwa and Dongwa says, actual paper puppets. And then I said, oh no, this is bad. Then Shigwa says, really bad. Where Sangwa says, quick, can you turn us back? Where I said, okay, turn you back into cats. Where I said, oh no, I think my spell didn't work. Where I said, oh no, I don't know what to do to turn you back into real cats. Where I said, oh no, come on, Shigwa, we gotta figure out a way to turn her back into real cats before Miranda notices. Where I said, we gotta do something before Miranda notices. So me and Shigwa went to Miranda's house. I went, Miranda. Then Miranda says, hi, Anna. Hi, Shigwa. And